Welcome back and thanks for joining us here on Sunday nights. I'm your host, Midgarin, and we are joined once again by our cast of wonderful and affordable role players. I want to thank you for sticking it out all the way to our final episode here at Dunes of Akhal. When last we left our heroes, the Sunday Knights returned to a scene of chaos. The walls were set upon by a demonic horde. After sneaking into the city of Galaxia, Kiefer, Hans, and Ellie ran straight for the courtyard. Upon arriving, they decide to drop Lucian off at the church to be healed before heading into the palace. The palace is deserted, save for the Sun Queen herself, collapsed upon her throne. Hans rushes to her side, only to find that she has been infected by Drazzat, and she attacks the party. The fight is both intense and emotional. By pulling all their resources together, the group is able to defeat the Sun Queen and rid her of her affliction. She tells the party that Drazzat is after the water source and needs to hurry. The throne slides aside, revealing a passage to the caverns below. The queen bestows the healing upon the party and begs that they hurry down to stop Drazzat and save Akhal. And so, let's begin. Lucian, you find yourself standing on a black chain, staring into a massive eye. The presence of this eye holds you in place. From off to your right, you hear the sound of metal scraping against metal. Then someone crying, "Even you forsake me?" The eye turns its attention away from you, and you can finally move. A deep voice echoes all around you. "I will not forsake you." Lucian, you see a trickle of golden light escape the bindings, snaking his way up another chain and passing through a crack in a door. As you look around, you see many doors in this space, and possibly massive doors, all different, and each one bound with the same black chain. Your body has no weight, and you can see through your hands. An echo of who you once were. Directly next to you stands the Sun Queen. What do you do?
My lady.
She continues to stare at the eye.
How are you here? I'll try to struggle against my bonds.
As you start to move, the bindings that are around you start to dissipate, and you're able to move freely.
Okay, I will try to rouse her from her stupor.
As you reach out to touch her, your hand passes through her, and she disappears like so much smoke.
I will look around the room to see if I can see her again.
You're not in a room. You're in an infinite expanse of space. There are chains that are around you, each of them large enough for you to stand upon. As you look around, you see other ghostly figures. Some of them are lizard folk, some of them are regular townsfolk. Each of them are staring up at the big eye. A light shines behind you, iridescently brightness and almost blinding.
I will raise my hand to shield my eyes from the light and try to determine its source.
The source seems to be that of a humanoid figure. You can't really make it out because it's shining brightly. It is an outline of a woman. You recognize it as the goddess of the light, the one that you worship.
I will move towards her as quickly as I can.
As you step off the chain to head towards her, your body becomes heavy once more, almost as if you're taking physical form.
Okay, I will cling to the chain.
Mm-hmm.
I assume, or do I revert to my weightless self?
You are back to a physical form. Do not be afraid, Lucian. You may come to me.
Does she even look at me, or does she just...
You can't tell. It is a silhouette.
Then I will jump.
As you jump, you soar as if flying through this space. You can feel your body, you can feel your equipment, but there is no ground for you to walk upon.
I will ask her, what is this place?
This is the world between worlds, Lucian. This is a prison.
And what do you ask of me?
I ask that you stop what is to come. She takes her hand and gestures to your right.
I will follow her gesture with my eyes.
As you turn your head, you see the chain that you were standing on leading back to another door. This one seems to be made entirely of sandstone and intricately carved patterns. A crack appears on that, and in the crack you see the roots of a crystalline plant.
As if protruding from the other side, trying to get in?
Yes.
I will change course and fly to it.
Okay.
And I will cast the sorcerer cantrip Mending and try to smooth it over.
As you start to cast your spell, the magic dissipates. Lucian, your power has no place here. If magic was a thing, then it would be a lot easier for that thing to get free. Unfortunately, we must take care of this on the other side.
I will steel myself and just stare at the crystal and incline my head back in her direction and say, "Send me back."
You are a good child, Lucian. Your queen needs you. Go to her. And she'll wave her hand, and you are thrown into the door. But instead of striking it, you almost seem to shrink and twist and bend and actually move through the crack. You're pulled through it as if by osmosis. Your eyes open up, and you're inside of the cathedral, the church next to the palace. You hear the sounds of battle all around you. Strong hands grab hold of you and try to force you down. It's like, the advisor is waking up. He's not well. He's not well. What do you do?
I will struggle against them. And how many are there? My strength is fairly paltry. It's 12.
There's 2 people holding you down. Everybody's kind of in a panic at this point. They're just like, hold him down. Do you know where you're at? What is your name?
I will sneer at them and basically scream at them, "You cannot contain the light!" And I will use Word of Radiance, the sorcerer cantrip.
What does that do?
So, Word of Radiance is an evocation cantrip. I utter a divine word, and burning radiance erupts from me, and each creature of my choice that I can see within range must succeed at a con save or take 1d6 radiant damage, which increases to 2d6 because of my level. I kind of just want to back them off. I don't want to kill them.
Right. One will succeed, the other one, his hands start to burn in blinding light. He's like, ah!
And I will attempt to shake free of the other one and run for the door.
The other one backs up as well. He's like, advisor, you came to us collapsed. Your wound is not healed yet.
My cause can wait no longer. The greatest need beckons me, and I will run for the door.
Okay. As you run to the door to head to the palace, we will join Ellie, Hans, Galaxia, and Kiefer. We'll all join you at the throne room of the Sun Queen. The Sun Queen has moved the throne aside, revealing staircase leading downwards. As you guys head down the stairs, the Sun Queen will look back to you, Hans, and she just says, Hans.
Hans is in tears, and he's down on his knees, just looking at the Queen. Yes?
You're going to see something down there, Hans. When you get down there, I want you to know that I did what I had to. I will not ask for your forgiveness, just your understanding.
Hans just looks up at her and wipes his eyes, and he says, "It is I who should be asking for your forgiveness. I failed you."
You do not fail me, Hans. You saved me.
Wasn't enough.
I will see you soon.
He just bows his head to her. He says goodbye. And then he gets up and joins the group.
Kiefer, Galaxia, Ellie, what are you all doing? Is there anything else that you want to do or say to the Sun Queen before you head down the stairs?
Nope. Just going to be following Kiefer down the stairs.
I would like to approach the Queen and ask if she is well.
My little friend from the forest. I am as well as I'm going to be. I betrayed my people, and in a way I feel that I've betrayed you.
You are not in control of yourself, Her Majesty.
You will understand when you go down the stairs.
So then I'm going to join everyone at the stairs. I bow to her as I leave and join everyone to go down.
As you descend the stairs, the temperature drops by several degrees. As the people of the desert, the cold starts its frigid bite into you sooner than our friends from the forest. You walk down a rough-cut hallway. Ice forms cover the floors and then the walls, making the trek difficult. So that's what you see when you descend the stairs. Kiefer and Galaxius decide to be out front, followed by Hans and Ellie. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah.
All right.
I have an idea to check for traps, and it's kind of funny, but if you guys bear with me, I could use a little help. So I would like to cast Levitate on myself and have Kiefer, throw me. And I'll zip across and kick off the walls and scout ahead while checking the floor for traps as I go.
That's not what I was thinking that you were going to say. I thought you were going to be like, I'm going to cast Levitate on myself and I need someone to use me as a metal detector. That's what I thought you were going to say.
That works too. Actually, you know what? That is not a bad idea. I'm into it. And all in favor, say aye.
So describe to me, Hans, what you're doing to check for traps.
I am levitating like Superman style, like on my belly, like I'm laying down. And I have my rapier out, and I'm poking the ice as people push me forward.
All right, go ahead and roll for investigation.
I rolled a 15.
15. You don't see any type of traps where you're at, no.
Does that occupy a 5-foot space?
Yes, you do occupy a 5-foot space.
Okay, so how far around can I check? Like 5 in front of me, 5 beside me?
No, that's just your check for the whole area.
Oh, okay. Well, push me forward. Let's go.
Just give us all water walk again.
Yeah, but this is not water. It's ice.
It works with ice as well. Water, acid, mud, snow, quicksand, or lava.
Well, we don't know if you like step on it, if you get stuck. That's why I'm floating.
Well, that's why I have a racial ability called Land Stride, so I can do that without the water walk.
And what is Land Stride? Galaxia.
Land Stride allows me to move through non-magical terrain, difficult terrain caused with no extra movement. I can pass through without being slowed by them, without taking any damage from them.
Okay. So go ahead and make your movement. Kiefer, Ellie, is there anything that you guys are going to do?
Move up towards this other path that's in front of me. I'm assuming that's ice.
Wasn't I yeeting someone down the hallway?
You are yeeting Hans down the hallway.
You want athletics for that?
Yes, I do.
That'll be a 19. I don't have disadvantage, I'm assuming.
No, you don't have disadvantage to yeet Hans down the hallway. So as you throw Hans, you kind of just pinball around, making your way over to the water. So, Galaxia, as you're scouting out, Hans is being pinned around, or pinged around the area. So the room opens up, ice still covers the floor, but a river of fresh water divides the room. The river's source seems to be a wall of ice.
This is probably where we need that water walk, for sure.
Yeah. So, has there been any difficulty in walking this ice?
It is considered difficult terrain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say, I still have hallucinatory terrain that would help me for 300 feet, but that might be enough. But I don't know if I want to use that right now, or just tiptoe it.
So this is difficult terrain, so you are moving at about half your movement speed. If you wanted to move at your normal movement speed, it will either require an acrobatics or an athletics check. Right now, you're just being cautious, like kind of just scooching out instead of just going full throttle.
Well, my movement speed is 25 feet, so then we're putting half of that. That's going to be like, what, 13? 13 and a half?
About so, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd probably get about halfway down there. I could do that.
Hans say, how's that bouncing off the walls working for you?
It's actually quite exciting. I like this.
Kiefer coming up here?
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm moving forward. I was just waiting for everyone else to do what they were doing.
Unless you're going to fly over it, of course.
Certainly could.
You could do that. You guys get to the room, you see the water. The source of the water seems to be a wall of ice, and then the river runs itself underneath the rock. And you're assuming that heads out to the lake itself. That is the Oasis's main trait.
Okay. So are we all on the edge of this water? We're all on the edge of the ice, between where the ice and the water meet?
Yep. Yes, you are on the edge of the river. You're within 10 feet of the ice wall.
Okay. So then I will go ahead and ask the group. I will say, are you ready to go this way?
Here's just the only direction we can go.
Then we might as well get started. And I will go ahead and cast Water Walk on all of us, the 4 of us present. And I will take a step or 2 out front to get everyone else to join me.
Okay. So you all walk up to the wall of ice?
Yes.
Who walks up to the wall of ice first?
I'll do it. Galaxia will walk up to the wall of ice.
Okay. Galaxia, as you head up to the wall of ice, letters start to appear in common script along the wall.
I will turn to my back to the Hans and say, is there anything special about this writing? Do you know anything about this area down here?
Seems like a riddle.
Hans rolled a 13 for insight.
My body stretches out, reaching for the sun. My skin wilts away, leads to maturation. Lightning strikes, destroys my prey. My embrace is final, leaves no trace.
I rolled a 1.
Kiefer, you strike it. As soon as your hooves strike the ice starts to form itself around your hooves and crawls up your legs. You're going to take 20 points of cold damage.
And as I see that, I'm going to step backwards from the wall.
And the wall starts to grow and creep closer towards you.
Yep, I like to take a step back.
What do you all do?
Well there, Kiefer. So how did that work out for you?
Ow.
I don't think we should be touching that wall.
It's like the equivalent of dry ice along your legs.
Fantastic.
I feel like this is some sort of riddle.
I already said that.
Yes, but I wasn't listening to you then.
I just give Eleonora a little hug. Remember, we're outsiders to these people. They don't think we know anything.
I'm so glad you're with me, Galaxia.
Do you know if the Queen had given anything to you or has said anything to you about how we get through past this part to the heart?
Not for me.
He's the Queen's guard after all. Maybe he would know.
It's not. Wouldn't happen to be death, would it?
You say that out loud?
Yes.
The wall starts to creep closer towards you. The sound of ice cracking and reforming starts to make little thunder pops, just crash. It's moving closer to you at glacial speed, which isn't fast.
I believe it may be ice.
You say that out loud?
Yes.
Not the answer.
It's the first bit of that makes it harder for me. My body stretches out, reaching for the sun. My skin wilts away, leads to maturation.
Listen, I stretched my body out when I did that full kick, and it was definitely not that.
How do you know? Try again.
Well, a plant's body reaches out to the sun.
Flower?
A tree?
What skin wilts away, at least to maturation. That would be a butterfly.
Banana?
It could also be shadows, too.
Lightning strikes destroy the prey?
Destroy my prey.
Right, but I mean, I'm asking against the items that you're bringing up.
Is it darkness?
At this point, Lucian will join you. So, Lucian, you head down the stairs after speaking with Sun Queen a little bit. She tells you to go on to help the rest of them out. As you enter, you are set upon by icy cold. Kiefer, Hans, Ellie, and Galaxia are all standing around and a wall of ice with those glowing scripts carved upon it.
Is there a light source in here aside from those?
No, that's the only light source.
Good thing we all have dark vision.
I do not, but I do pull out a torch.
Gotcha. Does Ellie have dark vision?
I'm also going to use my torch and kind of like hold it not on, but near my hindquarters to kind of thaw them out.
Okay. Have you ever touched dry ice before?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, it like burns.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, kids. Be safe.
Gross fact, I used it once to remove a wart.
All right.
How's that gross? That's scientific.
You do it.
So moving on. My body stretches out, reaching for the sun. My skin wilts away, leading to maturation. Lightning strikes, destroys my prey. My embrace is final, leaves no trace.
And this is where we end for the night.
I lay down to take a nap.
Lightning strikes speaks to speed, not physical lightning, and it leaves no trace of their prey behind. Body stretching out towards the sun, I think, is a plant, as is my skin wilts away as I mature, kind of like a Venus flytrap, and they also leave no trace of their prey.
It doesn't attack very quickly, though.
This is also like how the spell that's making people explode into monsters works.
I will cover my wound.
Can I do a perception check on that?
I just want to go ahead and I want to make a guess. I mean, it can only eliminate. Is it a tree?
It's not a tree. What'd you roll, Kiefer?
I rolled a critical 20.
So the total?
22.
As you make that quip about the spell that explodes people, you do see Lucian kind of put his hand on his shoulder reflexively. One hand's on one shoulder, and his other hand is grasping his staff.
Are you going to turn on us?
I'll startle and look towards him. I will throw my staff and speak the command word, summoning the snake.
The command word.
Monty.
Monty. Okay.
Get it? Staff the Python?
Mighty Python, exactly.
I didn't know if you guys were old enough to get the reference.
Yes. My uncle made sure I watched Monty Python when I was like 12.
A giant constrictor snake forms around Lucian, wrapping him up. It doesn't do well in the area, for it is cold-blooded.
I will guess the answer. It's a snake.
Because snakes wilt their skin when they mature. Yep.
Yes, and they strike like lightning.
And they leave no trace of their prey, which is technically not true. They scat, but still.
Yes.
Close enough.
Close enough.
As you speak the answer, the ice starts to crack. Splinters shoot out in all directions. The noise becomes deafening until the barrier of ice explodes.
Hey, can I see that?
Yeah, you can see that. You can hear that.
Guys, get prepared for a battle.
Does anybody do anything when the ice explodes?
I'm running backwards.
I'm going to hide behind my shield.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
I would like to backpedal as well. Hold on.
Kiefer rolls a 21 for his dex save.
Okay.
We have entered the Chamber of Secrets.
Baxter rolled a 15.
Okay.
Lucian, unassisted by Water Walk, rolled an 11.
Ellie.
Is Galaxia the one pulling out the shield?
Kiefer is.
I'm going to try to run over towards Galaxia as much as possible.
Hans, what'd you roll?
Hans rolled a 14.
14. And Ellie, what was your dexterity saving throw?
9.
So unfortunately, as you're diving trying to get behind Kiefer's shield, the ice explodes. The moment the ice explodes, it melts instantly, and everybody within the area is showered in a sudden downpour. The sound of rushing water is still heard.
I want to get as far away from this thing as possible, but I am pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
God. Yeah, I'm still just going to run over towards Galaxia and try to actually move beyond him past the narrow wallway there.
The cavern opens up to an underground lake. Metal platforms hover above the surface. In the back of the cavern, nailed to the back wall, is a giant sea serpent. Where the spikes protrude out of its body, water pours out of it, crashing down into it and creating a small lake. The lake then feeds out to it, and that is the mystery behind the Oasis. That's where the water comes from. It's from this beast nailed to the back of this cavern.
So I just move up and I move up to almost to the edge of where the mouth of the water is, and I see this creature. I see the water and everything's coming from it. But exactly what I said is I'm going to take a knee down, and bow my head in respect to this creature.
As you look upon the creature, its eyes seem to track you, but it doesn't make any motion towards you. It doesn't struggle against its bonds. It just hangs there.
If Eleanor is behind me, I just look back to Eleanor and ask her to come up and see if she can communicate with the creature that's up here in front of us.
I was afraid you'd say that. I'm going to follow Galaxian's directions and slow down and cautiously approach the water, as I still have water walk. So I'm going to go on the water, not on the metal planks there. What are these metal?
They are floating platforms that float above the water.
Not
so you're
sure if I want to trust the platforms. It kind of looks cautious to me. So I just kind of want to stand in the top of the water right now.
Sure.
And I will cast Speak with Animals to open a discourse with the snake here.
Okay. Kiefer, Lucian, are you guys doing anything?
I'm going to move next to Hans and just be kind of like battle ready. I still have my torch out, though, and I do not have a weapon out.
I got my bow out at the ready, but I'm not trying to be hostile to this creature right now.
Lucian will reach out with his mind using his trait granted to him by his otherworld patron, the Great Old One. Awakened Mind allows me to telepathically speak to any creature that I can see if it understands at least one language. And I will reach out with the thought, is the pain great?
So, Lucian, as you send that thought out, a wave of emotions assaults you. Pain, agony, anger, frustration, rage.
I get the impressions, it's not words.
Yes.
Do you wish to be freed?
The cavern itself starts to shake as the creature's body starts to undulate and twist. The spikes hold it down, and you get this deep throat.
So I will go forth again on the water, and maybe a bit closer this time, and I will, using my spell, I will ask it, is there anything we can do to help you?
As you step closer towards it, it starts to buck, and it starts to fight itself against the bonds. Every time it moves, another little piece of it rips away, and water continues to pour out of it. And you hear this very loud roar, and the cavern shudder again. Stalactites fall from the ceiling and crash upon the waters.
The bonds are stone, is that correct?
No, the bonds are not stone. The spikes themselves seem to be made of metal.
All right, does the metal look rusted at all?
No.
What's to stop us from just leaving here?
Nothing.
Can I investigate what's holding him to see if it has any sort of spell or magical effect?
You can do a knowledge arcana check if you like.
Is it apparent how many bonds there are on the creature? Say 5?
7 total.
I will move to here. How deep's the water?
Fairly deep.
So I will, I guess, ride my giant constrictor snake to here and command it to that one.
Okay. Kiefer, Hans, I need you two to go ahead and roll me a perception check. Ellie, with your arcana check, it's not something physical holding this creature. It's magical, you just don't know how the magic works.
Okay, so then I will tell the rest of the group that it's being held by magic.
Kiefer, Hans, what did you get on those beautiful perception rolls?
I rolled a 9.
Hans rolled a 6.
Well, you didn't see it coming.
We ain't seen nothing.
As Ellie, Lucian, and Galaxia are trying to investigate the creature nailed to the cavern, the wall on the eastern side of the cavern explodes open. In walks a creature. He's a lizard folk, but towers all over the rest of them, standing nearly 10 feet tall. He scans the room, and his eyes lock upon the serpent. My journey comes to an end. The heart is finally mine.
Your journey ends swifter than you know if you don't declare yourself.
He spreads his arms out, a massive glaive, and holds up in one hand. I am Drazzat. I will cure the desert.
As soon as he says that he is Drazzat, I'm going to fly at him and stab him.
Roll for initiative.
Galaxia rolled a 24.
Galaxia rolled a 24. All right.
Ellie rolled 7.
Ellie rolled a 7.
She don't want to fight.
Lucian rolled a 9 and a 6 for his serpent. I'm not sure if they need to be separate or not.
No. Kiefer, would you roll?
I rolled a 10, but am I able to still do what I'm doing because I was attacking while he was talking?
He's not surprised. He's ready for you. So Galaxia,
Fine.
For those playing at home, this is Drazzat, Sword of the Watcher. Galaxia, it is your go.
All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move over here to this platform where Ellie is. Ask Ellie to hand me a vial. Hopefully we still have some vials left.
Yes, I do.
All right, I will take one vial, coat my arrows with the acid that's on there, or the liquid, the oil that's on there.
Okay.
And I'm going to basically tell Drazzat before I shoot, your corruption stops here. And then I'm going to shoot 2 arrows at him.
Go and roll for attack.
Every time one of these guys comes out, he gets violent.
First, I will do bonus action Hunter's Mark on him.
So the oil was the bonus action.
So my first shot was a 16,
16 does not hit.
17.
17 does not hit. As your arrows fly to it, his glaive moves out of the way, and almost the massive size of it almost acts as a shield. It hits the glaive. The acid starts to melt into it, but it doesn't stay too long. And it kind of just flicks them away.
That is it. That's all I can do.
I've already destroyed 1 elf today. 1 more will not matter. Next up is Hans.
Hans is going to move up to Drazzat, and he is going to make an attack because Drazzat is the reason why his queen is down right now. Will a 23 hit?
23 will hit.
I will give you 8 piercing damage and 15 sneak attack damage.
Total is 23, right?
That's correct. And I will bonus action disengage.
So Hans, as your blade pierces Drazzat, his body is that crystalline armor that you met with in the desert. Your rapier goes towards him and then glances off. You don't do as much damage as you hope. He looks down at you and he chuckles. It is his turn. He looks at you, Hans. I do not have time to deal with you. You shall deal with my horde. And demons start pouring out of the hole that Drazzat made, going around him and starting to swarm you, Hans. I told you this was going to be tough.
Still probably surprise you.
Yep. Hans, 15 to hit.
Does not hit.
17 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, Hans, you're going to take 7 points of damage.
I will take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Uncanny dodge, baby.
The next ones are 10 and a 15,
Another one hits.
16 to hit,
Does not hit.
and 11. Only one hits you. One of the other demons leaps forward and pounces upon you, Lucian. 8 to hit, and a 20 to hit.
Well, he's batting 500.
Yep, 9 points of slashing. I need everybody to make me a wisdom saving throw.
I actually rolled a 23.
Hans rolled a 17.
Ellie rolled a 7.
Kiefer rolled an 18.
And
Lucian rolled a 20.
rolled a crit for my save and a crit for my initiative.
Good job, everybody. Drazzat tilts his head back, and a roar echoes through him. The roar permeates through you, and you get a sense of fear and panic. Galaxia, Kiefer, Hans, and Lucian all shake it off. Ellie, you are wrapped up in the fear aura.
I'm
So you-
already freaking out.
You are afraid of Drazzat. You cannot go any closer to him, and you take disadvantage on anything towards him.
Perfect.
And at this time, Drazzat is going to try to jump onto the platform that Lucian's on as he heads towards the sea serpent. His glaive starts to glow to you, Lucian, a very familiar golden light.
So this is a sea serpent?
Yes.
Did we just skip over the A serpent and the B serpent?
Yes.
Ba-dum-bum.
His glaive glows with a golden light. He brings it up, and he brings it down upon you. 23 to hit.
That'll do.
You're going to take 11 points of slashing damage and 13 points of radiant damage.
So I am resistant to radiant.
Okay.
So I guess that's half.
Half damage, yep.
So 18 total.
18 points total. Kneel before Drazzat, mortal. And Kiefer, it is your turn.
All right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna stab some demons. But what I am going to do is I'm gonna go down, and then I'm going to charge into the one on the top, like so.
All right. Charge away.
Does a critical hit 27 hit?
No.
Told you it was going to be tough.
Yeah. Yes, a critical will hit.
And that is going to be 15 damage with my first hit.
All right. That creature will actually die.
All right, then I am going to stab the one right there in front of Hans.
Okay. Go ahead. Roll for an attack.
That's going to be a 20.
20 will hit.
That's going to be 6 piercing damage.
All right.
And that'll end my turn.
Next up is Lucian.
So following the encounter in the desert, I claimed the glaive from the last iteration of Drazzat. Do I still have that?
Yes, you grabbed the glaive from one of his lieutenants. That is correct.
Oh, sorry. I would like to produce it, though I'm sure it pales in comparison to this large one.
Yep.
And I will have my snake lash out at the demon to my left.
Okay.
Does a 21 beat the demon's armor class?
Yes, it does.
A total of 9 damage, piercing specifically.
Okay.
And I will cast Eldritch Blast on Drazzat. The resulting 2 blasts. The first one is 16 to hit,
16 will miss.
and the second one is 24
24 will hit.
for a total of 6 force damage.
All right.
And that will be it.
Okay. Ellie, you're up. You are afraid of the big scary lizard.
Oh, trust me, I was before the spell hit. Okay, so I'm going to go right up to where the snake is on the wall, and I am going to use Freedom of Movement, which when you touch a willing creature for the duration, the target's movement is unaffected by difficult terrain, and spells and other magical effects can neither reduce the target's speed nor cause the target to be paralyzed or restrained. The target can also spend 5 feet of movement to automatically escape from non-magical restraints, such as manacles or a creature that has it grappled. So I want to kind of say out loud, not really, and I don't have the Speak to Animals spell currently, but I can just say, please help us if you can, and just kind of put my hands onto the snake and attempt to free it from the magical shackles that it has.
It starts to writhe, and as it moves, Ellie, you see these runes start to glow, and your spell is fighting against the spells that are on these 7 spikes. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check.
Okay, because I'm so good at those.
Yeah.
A 2.
You start to see one fade, but the other 6 brighten, and the entire thing maintains its hold on this creature. Water starts to pour down upon you, you become entirely drenched. And without your water walking spell, you feel like you would have been pulled underneath this torrent of water. The creature roars in pain. Are you doing anything else, Ellie?
I'm going to... Let's see, well, that's my action. That takes my action, so no, I suppose not.
Galaxia, it is your turn.
First is I'm going to move down to this other platform closer to where the sea serpent is, where Ellie went, but I'm going to be on the platform on the very edge, and I'm going to fire some more arrows at Drazzat.
Go ahead, roll for an attack.
15 will probably miss.
15 will miss, yes.
22 hit. Oh, that's a critical hit. 27.
Yeah, 27 critical. Yes, that will hit. I don't remember you casting Hunter's Mark on the creature.
You're right. I'm just going to do that after this. So crit, and then I'm rolling the 2d6 for the acid damage, right?
4d6 because you crit.
Oh, nice. All right, so I'm doing 6 points of piercing damage with my arrow, and then I'm hitting, and I'll actually make that 7 because of the crit. And then 22 acid damage to him.
So you do 29 points of damage total, and he takes the full brunt of the damage. His back arches. Lucian, you see his eyes go wide in shock. It almost mirrors what you saw in the desert, where he's just surprised that something has pierced his body. He looks back to Galaxia. You die. Help. Then your turn, Galaxia.
Yeah, that's all I can do because I moved and then attacked, so I have no more actions.
Okay. Hans, it is your turn.
Hans is going to strike at one of the drones, the one that's directly in front of him.
All right, go ahead. Roll for an attack.
19 to hit.
19 will hit.
I give you 12 piercing damage and 17 sneak attack damage.
So that creature was the one that Kiefer attacked, so that creature will die.
All right, and I will use my bonus action to disengage and move 30 feet right here next to the giant snake. And that will end my turn.
I guess I'll take these other 2 out.
I already did all the heavy lifting. You can handle the rest.
You finished off one that I struck.
Semantics.
Drazzat will slam his glaive onto the ground. His mouth will open up, but no words come out of it. Instead, Lucian, you see a flower slither itself out of his mouth. It blooms into this golden eye-shaped flower. You hear this deep voice, unlike Drazzat's, Balugala. In a puff of smoke, standing in front of Galaxia is a massive gorilla-looking demon. The flower will slither back in. I told you you would die, elf. And the creature will make his attacks onto Galaxia.
Yeah, it'll hit, but I'm going to use my brace ability defensive tactics for multi-defense, which will up my armor class.
All right. What a 22 hits you, Galaxia. I'm pretty sure. Yep.
It's going to hit.
All right, so you're going to take 22 points of piercing damage, and he's going to hit you with a fist.
I'm going to miss.
Critically fail with the miss, and does a 25 hit you?
25 will hit.
9 points of bludgeoning damage. As this creature is just starting to bite and then basically just bestial rage, just claw and tear at you. Kiefer, it's your turn.
Okay, so these round things, are they pillars?
They're platforms that float on the water.
Okay, so I am going to fly over by the monkey.
Okay. You fly over by the monkey.
And I am going to stab him, and this is going to be with a charge.
Roll for attack.
Does a 24 hit?
24 will hit.
All right, so that's going to be 11 piercing damage and then 5 charging damage. Also, I'm going to attempt to knock him prone.
So that's a strength check.
I believe it's a athletics check.
Roll athletics.
That's going to be a 24.
That beats out his 17, so he will go prone into the water.
Okay, and then I'm going to stab him one more time while he's down.
All right. He's kind of just like flailing and trying to get back onto the platform. Good. Roll for an attack.
Well, actually, that would be at advantage because he's down.
He's prone.
It says hand axe, but it would be the same thing. So 23.
23, yep.
All right, that's going to be 8 piercing damage.
8 going to piercing damage. Anything else, Kiefer?
I'm going to tell him to stay down.
Shin, it is your turn.
Okay, I will have my snake strike out at the demon beside me again. 7 probably won't do it.
7 will not do it.
And I will adopt a seeming Buddhist-like calm, and I will basically ready my Eldritch Blast for if that flower makes another appearance. If not, I'll just splash his face.
So you're going to hold your action until it's his turn?
Correct.
Got it. Sweet Ellie, what are you up to?
So since I'm still at the dragon, or the snake, sorry, it's a snake, here, and I saw that one of the runes disappeared, so I'm going to attempt my spell one more time. So I'm going to cast Freedom of Movement on it also.
All right.
And then, what did you want me to
Arcana.
go for that? Arcana. I rolled a 19.
So you cast your spell, and you get that resistance. The spell itself is fighting back. The sea serpent starts to move as you start to cast your spell, and its tail all of a sudden is freed from the bindings. It rips itself out. The spikes are still attached to the wall, but it pulls itself out of the bindings. I need you to go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy. 23.
23. You're able to dodge out of the way as its tail whips frantically at you. Everybody in the area is going to get another dousing of water as it starts just to slam around frantically.
Okay, I did forget last time I have Shape Water, which is instantaneous, so can I direct the water around me to just flow out, like just not on me, just a few
Is
feet
that
away?
a bonus action, or is that...
That is Transmutation Cantrip.
Right, but is it a bonus action cantrip, or is it a full action cantrip?
It does not state either. It says it's an instant duration Transmutation Cantrip. I will have to assume it is a one action, so
Okay,
I
so
didn't
you
think
can't-
it was, but yeah, that's
Gotcha.
fine.
It's called Shape Water.
Yes,
Casting time, 1 action. So yeah, you can't...
Okay. Never mind. I will take whatever water splash.
Yep. Galaxia, it is your turn.
So first, I'm going to move down a little bit closer to where the sea monster is, but not on the platform where Ellie is. And then this time, I'm going to cast the spell at around Drazzat, not at Drazzat, but around Drazzat. And
Okay.
I'm going to come up from out under the water, and there's going to be a spiky, nice little growth right around Drazzat.
You're casting Spike Growth, right?
Correct.
Okay, so every time he moves, he's going to take damage, correct?
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius around, basically where Drazzat's now, 20-foot radius around him. And so
Now will that affect Lucian and all them?
I can center it around here, and then Lucian wouldn't be in the area of effect. So I'm going to position it so that Lucian's not in the area of effect.
Sounds good. Anything else you're doing, Galaxia?
That's all I can do because I moved and then I cast a spell. I was just trying to move away from that ape creature that's in the water. Every time he moves within the area, he takes 2 to 4 piercing damage every 5 feet it tries to travel.
Perfect. Hans, it's your turn.
Hans is going to move over to Ellie. Would I need to like jump over the serpent?
So you were there when she cast Water Walking, so you can Water Walk up to an hour.
Okay.
You just book it.
All right. I'm gonna go to Ellie and I'm gonna ask her for one of the vials of acid that she got at the Citadel.
I
would
will
like-
I search in my pack, and as all of this water has come over me, he just sees a hand come out with a bottle in it.
I want to use my bonus action to apply it to my rapier.
All right.
I would like to move towards Drazzat.
Are you moving straight towards Drazzat?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
no. Once I get to this platform here, I'm gonna make a leaping attack at him.
You don't have time for that. But once you get onto the platform, you do take 2d4 points of damage.
No
Because now
dexterity.
You're in the spike grip. It's
Yeah.
not a dexterity save. It's just damage.
Okay.
So, Galaxia, go ahead and roll for damage.
6 points.
6 points of damage, Hans.
Reduce it to 3.
When you get up there onto that platform, you didn't notice it at first, but now when you look down, you see there's these big, large vines that are big and spiky all around Drazzat.
Uh huh.
Yep. Okay, sound good?
Yes.
Okay, it is Drazzat's turn now. He looks down at you, Lucian.
Do not worry, for you will join us soon enough.
You can see his eyes upon your shoulder, and he's going to just leap towards the next platform.
When he starts to move, he's going to take damage.
Yep, he's going to take 4d4 points of damage.
And I would like to do my Eldritch Blast now then if he's leaping away.
Okay, go ahead.
He'll take 7 points of piercing damage as he moves out of that area.
Okay.
So the first one, left hand and Eldritch Blast, 20 to hit
20 will hit.
for 14 force damage. And the second one, I'll bring both hands together for a 28 critical.
Yep.
Again, somehow only doing 14 damage. Total of 28 force damage.
As he lands, he takes the spikes to the feet, and then he takes 2 bolts of Eldritch Blast to the back, and he looks down upon you, Hans.
So many nuisances today.
20 to hit you, Hans.
That will hit.
8 points of slashing damage, and 18 points of radiant damage. Second attack is only a 12.
That will miss.
Okay. Glaxia, the big gorilla-like demon, will get back up onto the platform. He pounds his chest, lets out a roar, and then leaps at you.
Okay, I'm over here by the sea monster, but okay.
Yep, he is going to do Reckless, so he's going to get an attack with advantage.
Okay,
20 to hit.
20 will hit.
Now you're going to take 12 points of piercing damage. I'm going to make an athletics check for the creature. 11 points. So he hits you, he bites you, but he's not able to get a good footing, and so he just kind of slides back into the water. He's just a frustrated monkey at this point.
Okay, I have to do a wisdom save to keep concentration on my spell, so I rolled a 16, so I think that succeeds for the spike growth.
Yes, you are correct. 16 will save. And then finally, Lucian. So Lucian is going to get attacked by these demons that are one of the demons on the platform. Claw for 24 and a 14. The 24 will hit you, will the 14 hit you?
No.
Okay, so you're going to take 7 points of slashing damage. This one's going to leap at you. 17 and a 23.
Both hits. And on the 17, I will use Hellish Rebuke.
All right. Go ahead, roll for that.
Deals 10 points of fire damage.
Okay, as the creature's claws comes into you, so it's a dexterity saving throw, correct?
That is correct. 16 is your target.
He rolls a 15, so he fails. So as he strikes, you hit him with the Hellish Rebuke. The fire will lick at him, and he'll actually disintegrate on the spot. So he's only going to deal the first attack, which was 10 points of damage. You do not take the second attack, and he will die. And you see the other creature basically just pacing back and forth, trying to get at you.
Oh no.
Lucian is down, right?
My first death save, critical fail, which is good for 2 failures.
Which is good for 2 failures. And then we come to Kiefer.
Whew.
I'm going to advise Lucian to roll better.
Is that the 8 other action you're using?
No, actually, I am going to continue wailing on the gorilla. Is he still down?
He slipped and he's in the water right now.
Get good.
Foot on his head.
Yep.
Does a 26 hit?
26 will hit.
All right, that's going to be 6 piercing damage. I'm going to strike again. That's going to be a 21.
21 will hit.
That's going to be 11 piercing damage.
Anything else, Kiefer?
That looks like all I would be able to do currently.
Lucian, you just made your death saving throw, which was a 1, so that's it for your turn. Ellie, so Lucian has gone down, but to get to him, you would have to go past Drazzat,
Which I'm not willing to do right
which
now.
you're not willing to do at all.
Can my snake still strike out?
Yeah, your snake can still strike out if you'd like to do that on your turn.
Never mind. He'll have a nap.
Okay.
Give me status on what this snake is doing from the wall. It got loose, so what is it up to?
So right now its tail is flailing back and forth. There are still 5 spikes in it.
Okay, so the 19 got off how many?
2.
Got off 2. Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna get this guy off. I'm gonna do that again. So I'm gonna go to him again and cast Freedom of Movement one more time.
Okay.
I got another 19.
Collectively, you start to see the runes on the spike start to die away. 2 more pop free. It's being held by the 3 spikes in its throat now. It starts to undulate. You start to see the wounds that were on its tail start to close up, and now it's just frantically flailing around. I need Ellie and Glaxia now to make me a dexterity saving throw. And also the gorilla.
All right, Galaxy rolled a 13.
Ellie rolled 14.
14? Okay. So what we're looking for was a 15, so everybody failed. So everybody's going to take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as you guys get whacked by this massive tail.
And I yelled to him, "Come on, stop doing that. We're trying to help you."
Ellie, do anything else?
I mean, other than yelling to him, no.
Okay. Glaxia, it is your turn.
I'm going to move over here by Ellie real quick, ask her to hand me one more vial.
This is my last. Pull it out. hand it over to him.
Okay.
And on the rest of my movement, I'm going to move over here to where Kiefer is on the platform. I'm going to hand him a vial and tell him to use this on your weapon and then go kill Drazzat. He is the priority right now.
I'll get to him after him.
And with that, what I want to do is I'm going to take an action to drink a superior healing potion.
Okay.
I think it's 44 plus 4, I think.
Yep, that is true. And then next up is Hans.
Hans is going to make an attack with his acid rapier. How do I calculate that? Does there acid damage or does it just allow me to do something if I hit?
So if you attack, it's going to be 2d6 added on to your weapon's damage.
All right.
13 will not hit.
All right. I would like to use my luck feat to re-roll that.
Sounds good. Go ahead.
I love the luck feat.
17 to hit.
17 will not hit.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Nope.
All right. Well, that'll end my turn.
It was a good roll, though.
It was a very good roll.
I put my heart and soul into that roll, and you fucked me, Stu.
It is Drazzat's turn. Drazzat takes his notice away from you, Hans, because you're not doing anything because you can't possibly hurt him. He looks upon you, Ellie, and what you're doing. No!
Oh boy.
He'll put his head back again one more time, open his mouth. Hans, you see the flower flow out of his body. It opens up once again.
Can I snatch it?
No.
I want to grab it.
And the entire room goes white. I need everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Klaxi rolls a 20.
Ellie's not doing so well. Ellie rolled a 10.
I would just like to point out that with a +7, I rolled a 9.
Kiefer?
Well, good thing you have the +7.
That's going to be a 21 from Kiefer.
It's going to be 21.
So Galaxia and Kiefer save. Ellie and Hans do not.
Yeah, I'm still freaked out.
So the ones that did not save are going to take 8d8 points of damage.
If I'm unconscious and can't save,
You die.
Oh god.
45 points of damage. If you saved, you take half. Lucian is radiant damage, so I don't actually think that affects you.
I just have resistance to it.
Okay, yeah, you take half. So 22 points of damage to the people that saved, 45 points of damage to anybody that did not save.
Which would be me. So I'm essentially going to end up just falling on top of the water because that's going to put me unconscious.
Your spell ends if you go unconscious, so you actually start to sink. Good news, though, is that it doesn't discriminate, so it actually killed all the other
monkey's
demons.
gone. Oh, that too.
Roll for your snake there, Lucian.
The snake got 18, so half damage was 30.
Half damage is 22. The light dies away, and that flower will go back into his mouth, and he looks around. You do not have a chance against the power that I was gifted. Accept your fate and become his. Kiefer, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to fly at him and stab him.
All right.
Does a 20 hit?
20 will hit.
All right, that's going to be 14 damage, and I'm going to attempt to knock him prone.
Did you put the oil on the weapon?
I did not yet.
Okay, so he takes half damage and needs to make a strength saving throw, correct? Or a strength check.
Strength check.
He rolls a 9. Let's see what you roll. Oh wait, no, that was the wrong. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong demon. I still rolled a 9. What'd you roll?
Okay, that goes against my critical 2028.
Okay, Drazzat is prone.
All right, then I am going to put the stuff on my sword and stab him while he is down.
Okay. All right. Kiefer, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 19 for 10 piercing damage.
Okay, and you have the oil, so roll 2d6.
That's going to be an additional 6.
Okay.
I would like to also action surge,
There you go.
and that's going to give me 2 more attack. Does a 26 hit?
26 will hit.
All right, that's going to be 9 piercing damage plus for an additional 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm assuming the 14 does not hit.
The 14 won't hit, no.
All right, that will end my turn.
Dr. Kiefer, it is Ellie. What are you up to?
I'm drowning.
All right, Ellie, go ahead and make me a death saving throw.
14.
14, you pass. Very good.
I live on.
You live on for another round. Galaxia, it is your turn.
All right. After probably seeing Ellie go down, I'm going to move up here to where she was, and I'm going to cast Cure Light Wounds on her at 2nd level.
Oh, hold up. Ellie went down, so the spell that she cast on you is gone. So you can't water walk anymore.
Okay, well then I'll swim over there if I have to.
Okay, so you dive into the waves.
But I have Land Strider, so I don't get restricted by movement.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
We're going to get over there to her through the water and dip down and see if I can see her. And if I can at least see her head or something, I'm going to cast Cure Light Wounds at 2nd level spell on her. At 2nd level.
Yep, you can do that. Roll for health.
All right, Not great, but at least it's 8 points.
Ellie, you're
Good.
back up to 8 points.
All right. I am awake, I think.
Yep, you are up, and that's all I can do for this turn.
Hans, it is your turn.
All right, Hans is going to make an attack with his rapier.
Roll with advantage.
21 to hit.
21 will hit.
I will give you 9 piercing damage, 15 sneak attack damage, and 7 acid damage, for a grand total of 31 damage.
Ouch. Drazzat starts to crawl up on the platform yet again. He's not looking good.
Can I bonus action kick him off the platform?
No, that's an attack.
It's more like a light shove, just a tip. Just
I see.
Make sure you kick him into the pointy sticks.
pointy end goes into the other man.
Drazzat's turn. His claw grips the side. He pulls his massive body out of the water, grabs his glaive, raises up, and he goes, "You will not defeat me." And he swings down upon you, Hans, yet again. 26 to attack.
26 will hit.
And 24.
Both will hit.
First attack, you're going to take 24 slashing damage and 13 radiant damage.
I am going to use my protection. Yeah, it would impose disadvantage.
Okay. So the first attack was a 26 and a 12, so you're going to take the 12. So the first attack saves you. The second attack is a 24 and a 23, so both of those are going to hit no matter what.
Okay, so how much damage am I taking?
9 points of slashing damage, 15 points of radiant damage, for a grand total of 24 points of damage.
Hans is calculating and doing math. I have 2 hit points left. Hanging on by a thread.
Better than me.
I look terrible. I'm bloodied. I'm at the point of collapsing.
It's Kiefer's turn.
I am going to stab. My first stab is a 12 that would not hit.
Right, 12 will not hit.
My second stab is going to be for 26.
That will hit.
And then I am going to second wind myself.
So how much damage do you do for your attack?
That's 7 damage.
Plus.
Oh, plus the 2d6. That's going to be plus 5 acid damage.
Anything else, Kiefer?
Yes, I am second winding, which will give me 9 hit points.
Fair enough. Ellie, you pop out of the water, take that deep breath of air. Go ahead, it's your turn.
Suppose could I cast Water Walk again and get everybody else on the water?
You can if you want, if that's what you want to do with your turn.
Yeah, I want to cast Water Walk, and then if I could just run over to the far end platform here, away from Drazzat. That's what I'll do for now.
All right, Ellie. Galaxia, you're able to stand on the water yet again.
All right, fair enough. As much as I don't want to do this, I'm going to have to. I want to come over here to where Hans is at. I'm going to cast Cure Light Wounds on him at a second level.
Okay.
You are a gentleman and a scholar.
So I'm only going to be able to give you 6 back.
That's 6 more than I had from 2. I'm good.
Hans, it is your turn.
Hans is going to make another attack.
Okay.
Hans rolled an 8.
Not going to do it.
Oh, wait, is he prone or is he not prone anymore?
He's not prone anymore.
All right, well, Hans is going to bonus action disengage.
That's kind of smart. Drazzat sees you flee from him. He turns to look at Kiefer.
Are you not running as well?
I hurt myself on an ice wall earlier. My back legs are not.
Okay, I'm just gonna hit you with a glaive now.
12 to attack.
I'm going to block that with my shield.
Okay. And a 21 to attack.
21 will hit.
All right, sir. You are going to take 8 points of slashing damage and 19 points of radiant damage. 27 points total.
I'm glad I healed myself last turn.
Oh, what are you at now?
8.
All right.
Look at us twinning it up.
We're getting down to the wire here. Kiefer, it is your turn.
I'm going to stab. Does a 26 hit?
26 will hit.
All right, I'm going to do 6 piercing damage with 12 acid damage. Is he still up?
He's still up.
Then I'm going to stab again. I'm assuming a 15 does not hit.
15 will not hit now.
Okay, and then I am going to Shield Master Shove. That's going to be an 18.
So you shove the creature 5 feet away from you?
No, I'm knocking him prone.
Okay, so he goes prone. All right, so he is prone, and he will be like that until the beginning of his turn. Ellie, it is your turn.
Okay, so I will go back where I was over by by wherever he's being stuck on the wall, by his throat, I suppose, over by the head. I'll put my hands onto him and cast Free of Movement on him again. Try to get this last thing freed, and I roll 15 for Arcana.
With a 15, you see one more of those spikes, the runes on it start to sputter and die. There's just one more left onto him. He's flailing around in a panic. You get the sense that he knows what's coming. You get in a sense of excitement, and he just starts to fight against his bonds once more.
Well, sure, but flailing isn't helping.
Flailing is not helping at all.
No.
Lexia, it is your turn.
I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to come up here to Kiefer. I'm going to use one more Cure Light Wounds. It's second level. It's the last thing I can do, and then I'm kind of tapped out at that point. So I'm going to heal him for 10, and then I'm going to move away from the platform back to over here onto this platform.
Hans, it is your turn.
Hans is going to step forward 15 feet and make an attack with his rapier.
Okay.
Will 15 hit?
15 will not hit.
I'm going to bonus action disengage,
Okay.
and that will be the end of my turn.
He kind of gives you that look like you're kind of a gnat to him at this point. It's like,
The desert does have horrible mosquitoes.
he raises his glaive, spins it once. Brilliant light starts to shine through it, and he brings it down upon you, Kiefer.
This is the end, beast of burden.
Critical.
Fuck.
Kiefer, you will take 18 points of slashing damage and 43 points of radiant damage.
Oh,
So Kiefer will collapse into the water. Fortunately, water walking, he just kind of floats there right now. Drazzat gives a big grin, steps forward. He will take 2d4 points of damage because Galaxia's spell is still in place. So 4d4 points of damage.
Oh, 4d4. Okay, well, he took 8 on that first one.
Okay.
Another 7, so he's taking a total of 15 points of damage.
He bends his legs, his body scrunches up, and he makes a massive leap towards the final spike. He lands upon the serpent, his glaive sticking into the wall, and he grabs hold of the creature's neck. His mouth opens up, and you see that flower start to slither out, and you hear the words,
This is the end. This is the beginning of the end.
Kiefer, what is your death saving throw?
My death saving throw is 18.
Yep, you save. Lucian, is there anything that your snake wants to do?
yes, he wants to latch onto the flower.
All right, go ahead and roll an attack.
And the snake gets a 13.
I won't do it. It lashes out, but Drazzat will smack it away. Ellie, it is your turn. The vine is getting closer, and you can't touch Drazzat. What are you going to do?
So do I still see the flower?
See the flower. It does shine a brilliant golden light.
I want to cast Blight on the flower.
Yes! Yes, you beautiful little person.
I've been waiting for this the whole thing. Okay.
Okay.
If you target a plant creature or a
Yeah.
magical plant, it makes a
Oh my
saving
God.
throw with disadvantage, and the spell deals maximum damage to it.
What is your wisdom modifier?
Wisdom is 15, so it's +2.
Okay, +2. Okay. And your proficiency bonus should be
Yes.
+3 because of your level. The save is 13, okay? I'm scared. Ready? Here we go.
You-
He rolled a nat 1. It's 88 points of damage.
That's awesome.
Ellie, you deal 64 points of damage to this creature. How do you kill it?
I see all of this amazing. There's the snake everywhere. The Drazzat. There's this other snake over here. There's everything in between, right above me, and I essentially just take my hand in front of me and blast this white beam at the flower that I see coming out of Drazzat, and just watch it explode. Essentially,
As it explodes, you hear this cry, this otherworldly cry. It shakes and rattles the entire portion of reality. The flower bloom starts to wither, and you see the look of shock on Drazzat's eyes. As that withering, he starts to shrink up, the crystals falling from his body. His hand loses its strength, and he falls to the pond. And in the moment from where he falls to where he hits the water, he is a lifeless husk, and he sinks to the bottom. And Drazzat is no more. Holy shit.
Okay, so nail this thing back to the wall and it's all good.
With Drazzat dying over there, I'm going to take an opportunity to come over here to Kiefer and try to cast Cure Light Wounds at level 1 on him just to get him back up. And I will do that for 9.
You're wet, but you're alive.
Did we win?
I just point over to the husk. Does that answer your question?
I'm not getting glaved anymore, so yes.
Hans, what do you do?
Hans just drops his sword in the water and drops to one knee and just starts to cry.
The creature starts to thrash again, starts to pull itself, starts to fight against its bindings. The last spike still holds.
I'm going to come over here to Ellie, and if she's going to try to do her spell again, I'll assist her if she wants to do the free him again. So you get advantage.
That'd be great.
You both kneel down. Go ahead, roll Arcana. 15.
15.
So that will succeed. Go ahead and describe the spell. How do you free this creature?
With freedom of movement, as I put both of my hands onto this snake creature, my hands will illuminate green onto its skin and kind of pulsate out on the creature.
Mm-hmm.
So then I assume the last rune goes away and becomes dissolved into it, or does it retract?
However
Okay.
you want to do this.
So I envision it retracting back into the wall.
Okay.
Obviously, he begins to move. He's flailing about a bit, and finally, his neck just launches out as he kind of almost dives in the air, and finally able to free itself.
The creature splashes into the water with a mighty tidal wave. Everybody in this vicinity is kind of just pushed back a little bit. You can walk on water, but the water is almost creating a wall. It pops its head out, gives one of those like snorts, the clearest nostrils, and it looks at you, Ellie. It stares deep into your eyes. Its mouth opens, and you can see rows of sharp, dagger-like teeth. And it drops a blue orb into your hands.
After all of this, even though it's thrashing, I don't feel any discomfort or threat from this being. I'm going to stand there and have this orb drop into my hands as I look back at it and into its eyes.
The orb dropping into her hands as I'm kneeling next to her, I just kind of lean over to her and give her a hug and tell her, I knew you could do it. I had faith. You saved us all.
And the creature will dive below the water, and it will surge out through the river and out of the cavern.
Well, there goes our water supply.
What do you all do?
Maybe the oasis will be full of water once again with it freed. Well, I want to know what this blue orb is, first off. I examined the blue orb. I asked Galaxia if he's familiar with it.
I look at it, but I'm not really familiar with it. So I'm sure it has something to do with nature, but I'm not familiar with what it exactly does.
Roll me a nature check.
14.
19.
So this orb, it's a piece of the elemental plane of water. And you're sure that something like this could, in fact, open a portal to that plane. You're not sure how long the portal would last. It could be an hour, or it could be years. But something like this would be able to create a large body of water.
Realizing this, so I examine it and I turn to Galaxia and I say, Galaxia, with this, we can do what we came here for. We can bring water back to the oasis.
Well, thanks be to Maliki. We can now restore some nature into the desert.
Kiefer, Hans, what are you two up to?
Hans is going to rush back to the queen now that it's all over.
Kiefer?
I guess I am also going to head back up to the Queen's Chambers and...
So I guess Galaxia will be the one person that comes over to where Lucien's body is.
I was wondering.
I was going to say something.
And I'm going to basically huck him over my shoulder like a fireman carry to try to carry him out to hopefully give him a respectful burial, since his other two companions didn't seem to care about him.
Yeah, I could have ridden the horse in death at least.
So Galaxia, you pick up Lucien, and you guys all head back to the Queen's Chambers.
Is she still laying there?
She's up. She's standing.
If the queen is standing, I will approach her slowly with Lucien across my shoulder. I shall come to her. I shall bow to her in respect, and let her and lie him on the ground and say, and just bow my head and say, your companion here. He served you faithfully. He gave his life to save your kingdom. He deserves a royal burial.
Hans is going to approach and kneel, but he won't meet her eye, and he's going to say, I saw things down there.
And what of the creature?
Drazzat is dead. The creature is gone.
Gone?
He left us
Snake.
behind an orb of some sort.
Snake is freed, and he has left the elemental portal behind.
The queen shakes. She shakes in rage, and then she takes a deep breath. It is my penance.
So Ellie, upon coming up, she would have kneeled politely, but she eyes Sun Queen and asks her, how long was he held hostage?
It was since the birth of the Oasis. It has always been this way. When my people were dying of thirst, I heard of a creature. We nailed him to that wall, and from it our great city sprang up. Without that creature, there is no Oasis. It creates water, but it is wild and untamed.
Ellie wants to point out the orb in her hands and state, this This is your miracle, not that creature.
She looks at you, Hans. Lucian.
Fought bravely. It was more than anyone could ask of anybody.
She looks to the four of you. What will you do with this information? What would you do now?
The orb has to be protected. It can be removed here. We can allow the Oasis to flourish, but it cannot be kept under lock and key.
Hans is going to bow deeply and say, I will serve. I will continue to serve.
At least we have one piece of good news. The creatures that were attacking the town, they suddenly withered and died. Almost as if all the water in their bodies was drained out in a second. Their husk lie the Oasis. But I do not know what tomorrow brings. We have a lot of work to do, and it is my wish that we all do it together. Will you stand with me once more?
Ellie, as the holder of the orb, she will take it upon herself to be the protector of this orb.
Okay.
And so she will say, yes, we can do this together, but this cannot be kept to you alone.
I understand. And you, Kiefer, what is your choice?
I need to consult with my people and see, but I believe that protecting this orb would be honorable and beneficial to my people.
We have a lot of work to do, and I'm glad that... And she looks over to you, Galaxia, that we all are going to work together.
I bow my head in respect and say, yes, Your Grace. I am here to serve, but my priority is to Eleonora.
I wish to stay and help this kingdom to thrive and to, again, solve the crisis that we sought to accomplish, which is to bring the Greenlands back to the Oasis.
Then we have a lot of work to do. But tonight we must take care of our dead. She looks upon Lucian. I am going to miss him. I believe out of all of us, he had the best soul.
Your Grace, if it brings you any comfort, he fought bravely until the end.
I believe so too. There is no rest for us now. Let us be on.
Well, there's got to be some rest. I have like 8 health left.
Well, I think everybody's besides you, but okay.
And we will leave the dunes of Akhal. We will head out past the dimension and through a door where Lucian stands. The door closes behind you, Lucian. The crystalline roots start to fade away, and you're left within the inky blackness, and of course that golden eye. The same light shines behind you once more, the light from the goddess.
I'll turn and greet it with a smile often saved for an old friend.
It is done, Lucian. A small contribution, but in the great scheme of things, it is very important. Are you ready?
Always.
Good, Lucian. And as you look up, her light illuminates, and you see thousands of doors, each of them connected to a chain. Each of them have cracks upon them, because we have much work to do. And so ends the Dunes of Akhal. Thank you so much for joining us. The story is over, but the Sunday Nights will be back after a short break. When we return, it will be with all new characters and an all new setting. And if you enjoyed our story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out the beginning of our new story. Next time on Sunday Nights. Play us out, minstrels.